What these really are just big trash cans, right? They're 32-gallon trash cans. They can be had easily at your hardware store or even on Amazon for under $20 typically. And they're wonderful because they allow the roots to dangle down. You can see here that I have cucumbers, tomatoes, and this is just a small patio cherry tomato, but it didn't care. It said, give me the root space to grow and I'll grow big. Here's a watermelon. It's taken over this vine, this line that I put up here. Hopefully we'll be able to grow that vertically. And here's zucchini that I've just harvested recently. I have, I think, some new growth here. I think of it like a tree. A tree gets large as you see it grow upward to the sky, but what you don't see are the roots. They say that the roots are about the same depth as the tree height, and if you're using 27-gallon totes, you're just not going to achieve the same height as you would in a trash bin. They're just deeper. So when you open up a trash bin and look in, oh my gosh, you see how far down those roots go? How much room there is. And that's a pretty big root mass there on this tomato plant. Same thing here with this cucumber. Nice, healthy, beautiful white roots. Look at the depth that you can achieve with these tanks in terms of the roots. Therefore, the upper part of the plant has so much more room to grow as well. There's this watermelon trying to grow a canopy across everything. And again, nice deep well for those roots to sink down into. And finally the zucchini, which has been pruned back many times this season already. He's got a nice huge root mass. Can spread out comfortably in that big bin. All these still have room to go deeper, I believe. And therefore, we're only mid-season. I think these plants will continue to flourish and get larger and larger as the season goes on. So the other thing that you might want to do is all these bins have aerator pumps. You can see down there that Venturi valve. I have a whole series on that if you'd like to watch how to make your own Venturi valves with or without a 3D printer. We're providing that oxygen on a 12-volt battery going to the shed or on solar panels. I have a series on pumps and power as well, how to power your little pumps. You see all those air bubbles in there? That's helping that tomato plant just go crazy. Can you see down there? Let's see. I'll move my phone down here. Can you see that? That's helping this tomato plant stay healthy, helping the roots stay oxygenated in this 100-degree heat sometimes we have. And again, here's your cucumber bubbling away down there. And one quick way to just make sure it's on is put your ear up to the intake and just listen. You gotta provide oxygen is probably the next most important step. And the third most important step probably would be to keep them elevated. I had these until about mid-season just natural, and they overflowed and went on the ground, mixed in with all these creeping weeds and vines, and just weren't getting the airflow and the sunlight that they deserve. So I would highly recommend you build some kind of pergola or line system like I've kind of got here to get all the plants trellis upward for maximum growth. And next year it'd be nice to have something a little more permanent than just this twine type pergola system, this temporary pergola system. But it is effective. I've got several of these branches going up here, and it's very easy to, with this twine, just add more. It starts to look like a jumbled mess, but it's very, very flexible and easy to add to, modify. Okay, there's a few more advantages of these kind of bin systems. Well, when it rains, the water can't get in. The water just kind of rolls off these domed roofs. They're slanted in a dome shape, just perfect for shedding water so you don't flood your tanks out. As you see here. Real nice. The other nice thing is, that I really love with these tanks, is that they're in a hinged lid here. So it's so easy just to quickly open up, look down inside. You don't have any clips to snap off. My power cords, if the wire has a little bit of a flexibility to them, can kink and just kind of set your wire on your pumps where you need to. Even your Venturi valves, if you have a long enough extension, can just close right down in there. That 1/4 millimeter tubing has no trouble closing there. So it's really very, very flexible. And those are removable, all these lids. In the back here, those little hinges there, you can take them off. And then I think they will stack inside of each other for storage in the winter if you need to do that, or if you want to do that. Plastic is polypropylene. Very, very durable. It's beautiful because it's black. However, I highly recommend that you paint it white because you want to reflect the sun and keep it nice and cool. And the water is, it's nice and cool. I feel it. It's just very cool in there. I think the roots are very happy with this kind of white paint that reflects the heat back outward. Critical in my mind is white paint. I've got a video on that if you want to watch it. I'll put a link above. The other thing I'm crazy about these lids is that, these plants have air roots. And look how much extra space is under the lids, given its domed appearance. So all those air roots there are happy. Even if I were to fill it all the way up, there'd still be a good, 3 inches, 4 inches? A good 3 or 4 inches here, where you have that extra space for air. So I don't intend to fill it all the way up. But if you want to hang those roots down deep and have a lot of water roots, even if you go down another 6 inches to here, now you've got 3 or 4 in the lid, and you've got maybe 6 inches here, maybe here. I think that's just about perfect. You've got a good foot of air before they even go deep down in there, so into the water. So when you refill, you just kind of shoot for one of these landmarks, something like here on the inside of the lid. Okay, so it makes refilling these much easier. Now, I'd love to have these on a float valve, and maybe I will put a float valve right there on the backside. Put something central to all these next year. But for right now, I have a kind of a neat system. One of these. I've got this rain bin system here, where I collect the rain off the roof of the shed. If you can daisy chain this, you can have one for drip irrigation, one for connection to the other tanks, and one that's just a garden hose type setup here. You can take that around and water your plants. Now these plants are 1 per container, which is one of the negatives about these large tanks. But if you're okay with that, having 1 watermelon, 1 tomato, 1 zucchini, 1 cucumber, that kind of thing, you just put 1 in each, 1 hole in each, and it'll take care of the rest. So this is a little different growing style. You're going big with these bins. It's a little bit different growing style than you would get with our more versatile 27-gallon totes. Let me show you. So here we are down on our 27-gallon totes. You see they're much, much shorter. The roots cannot go down as deep, so therefore I don't think you generally get as tall plants. However, they do really well too, guys. I mean, this one here is a little bit shaded. I'm getting plenty of fruit off of it. So I would say these are more versatile because look at all these little holes. You can start them out as starters in here, and you can space them out among your other 27-gallon totes as they get bigger. And you're still gonna get large plants. I don't think you'll be disappointed with these bins either. But just having all these different holes, you can have them all filled up with lettuce in the spring and in the fall, and in the middle of the summer you can have your fruiting plants in here. So there's definitely more opportunity for large-scale crop rotation with this type setup with these 27-gallon totes. And they're cheaper. These 27-gallon totes come in around $9 or $10 each, where those bigger trash cans probably more like $17 to $25 range. So they're a little bigger. Whatever one you get, I think you're going to want to paint them white to keep the heat out of them. So really love those for the massive plants, for big time fruit production. You wouldn't want to grow lettuce in one of these. It's a waste. Okay, I just want to give you guys a quick size comparison. This tomato has been pruned several times, trying to get rid of some of the excess foliage. So what you see is about half of what it used to be. I'll show you what its sister looked like. That is not in DWC type hydroponics, but just rather in a pot on the patio. Okay, here we are on the patio. And you can see this cherry tomato is not terrible. It's in a little self-watering bin. Here's another little picture from this angle, and you can see that there are tomatoes on there. And I picked 1 or 2 red ones already. But this was the exact same size. This tomato plant was the exact same size as that big one up there. And sure, we have the disadvantage here of being in a pot, in a type of pot, but boy, we're talking orders of magnitude bigger when you put them in hydroponics. The growth was so much faster, the quantity of tomatoes, it's unreal. So yeah, if you want to have little potted plants on your patio with some tiny dwarf type cherry tomatoes, go for it. But if you want to have massive yields of tomatoes, consider doing the hydroponic thing up there. Oh my gosh, what a difference. Well, that's what you're going to get with these big bins. You're going to get large plants. If you want to grow a single plant in a single bin, and you want that plant to put a ton of fruit out, I think these are the bins for you. I love summer. I love winter too. Beautiful. I better get out of the rain. Okay guys, wishing you all the best. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Thank you for watching and hope to see you back soon. Have a great night or a great day wherever you are.